A twink is still a man. And a man is what? Not trustworthy. I'm here to give y'all a grave warning. This is insane. This is so stupid and insane. Twinks are still men, right? We know that, right? Look, this is coming from experience, y'all. Duh. Twinks are still men. Men are what? Not trustworthy. They're not trustworthy. Therefore, twinks are also not trustworthy. And this is for, really, this video is a shout out to, honestly, this is so stupid. This video is for, the pure of heart. No, it's not. Sorry, this video is, oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. This video is for those who are not pure of heart, the not pure of heart twinks, okay? I'm sure if you're watching this, you're probably very lovely, but this is for them evil twinks, right? Because this is for them evil twinks. I'm burping. I'm just a gross mess. I burped in the gym today, and this girl who was in the same room as me gave me the nastiest look ever. I did not mean to burp out loud. It's disgusting and gross. But I just, forgot because I was wearing noise-canceling headphones. It's not like, oh, I'm so quirky. It's disgusting and gross. Okay, anyways, a twink is still a man. Men are what? Not trustworthy. Men are not trustworthy. I would never trust a man. I don't trust me. I can barely fold my laundry. Oh, it's so stupid. That's so quirky of me. I can barely fold my laundry. It will sit on the floor for weeks at a time. And that's so stupid. I'm so quirky. Yes. No, but I would never trust a man. I don't trust me. I don't trust these other men. Men are thinking about one thing, and you know what that is. Twinks are also thinking of one thing. And we think of twinks as girls, right? Like, oh, a girl. You know that meme where it's like, can a girl have fun? And it's like, oh, you is not a girl. You is a man. You is a man. Twinks are men. Twinks are not trustworthy. Why would I trust a twink with my life? Why would you trust a twink with your life? Because that's a man. See, I keep needing to say this because you can't remember it. That twinks are men. Twinks are men. And men are not trustworthy. There are these nasty, vile twinks. This is going to get deep now. And I think it is not only homophobia that has bled through in that community, which causes them to be so nasty. It's also most of the time an extreme insecurity from inward, right? And this is not just for them, but this is for twinks. It's this extreme, it's this weird reverse misogyny where they've basically had to be on defense mode their whole life, right? And this goes for a lot of men too. They've basically had to be on defense mode because I think that's why a lot of men are so ragingly insecure. Let's just call it like it is. Ragingly insecure is because they've just been on defense mode, right? And I think you grow up and you just have this, you have your shield on and you're just so used to batting off stuff. Okay, now here's the real tea. We're getting deep. But anyways, you grow up and you just have to, with twinks, I think because they've grown up being so looked down upon for their identity, they're just so ready to attack whoever shows the littlest bit of opposition towards them, if it's not blind worship of them. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Maybe I'm being a general label, but it's this extreme insecurity that immediately just whips out the second that they are not received positively. This is coming from experience, right, mama? Mama, this is coming from experience. This is not me just whipping this out of my ass. Anyways, I'm 5 years old, by the way. But they've been on defense mode, right? So they're ready to fight anyone and anyone. And I think that's just why this conditioning to defend themselves, which, it's good to stand up for yourself, but also it turns into this thing where it's just attacking anybody because they themselves have been raised their whole life to just pick out they've been told every single flaw. They've been told that their identity is a flaw. Very rude. Sorry, I'm really disgusting right now. But because of that judgment that has been placed upon them and that they are so inwardly like attacked upon, they now just total claws out as they get older. And I would never, that's why I don't trust a lot of twinks, honestly, is because most of the time there's this immediate vile nastiness. Let's just call it like it is, this vile nastiness, where it's just like, I just don't understand where there's just this internal rage against anyone who isn't usually just like worshiping them up and down. I'm repeating the same thing, right? But I think it's really interesting to see like how like you can just be torn apart by these twinks. We're getting really deep. We're getting so deep. And this goes not just for twinks, it goes for a lot of these people. But there's just this raging, it is insecurity, right? I think a lot of times people's problems just come from insecurity. But like, I think it's just what I said before, like this judgment that has been placed upon them by society, because like I really do sound like that one friend that's too woke, and this is from that like one meme or whatever. I do sound like that one friend who's too woke, but the way that like true misogyny, right? I hate sounding like this, but like I'm not trying to be like, I'm not doing this for anybody else. This is for me. This is me speaking my own mind out. I think the way that misogyny has kind of conditioned us to be for like boring, like condition a lot of things to be boring. Isn't that crazy? Like true misogyny, not just like, yeah, it's kind of like, and the way that does bleed through. I think there's also this weird thing where like twinks not only hate on other twinks, other people who are in that community, hating on that community, they also very, very easily just hate women. Like I've been in these communities with these twinks, right? So stupid. This is such a stupid video, right? But the way that they like will tear down women, it's like it's a reenactment. It's almost like it's so weird because it's like, okay, they've been affected by true misogyny, right? Like where they're like they are labeled not masculine enough, therefore they are torn down all the time. And they just rip it onto women now, right? Because that's the next target, right? Is because who better to like lash this out on than other women who, like, it's actually insane. I would never trust a twink. And I'm trying to be funny about it, but like it's dead serious at the way that these people are so blatantly nasty. It just doesn't make sense, And I'm someone who like I hate talking about me. I just see a lot of room for growth. Does that make sense? I'm not a good person, and I'm never claimed to be a good person. I'm just as awful in a lot of ways, but I think there's a lot of room for growth because the solution is never to tear down, like, because you've been torn down. It actually, you know what? It's, I am like pouring out my thoughts right now. I'm not really, like, I don't sound really that smart, but like, I think it's also like, instead of giving grace for yourself and like turning into a not evil twink, you like, it sounds so stupid, but like instead of giving yourself grace and being kind to yourself and becoming a better person, it's like this reverse form where it's like, I have to be super confident. I have to be better. I have to have the most clear skin. I have to be like super skinny. I think that's so interesting because again, it is misogyny, but also it's this way of like, oh, I had a really good thought there, but I'm really stupid, so I forgot it. I'm not stupid. I repeat that. But I think it's also like, instead of giving yourself grace and the room that like, you're not going to be like anyone else, even, it's so weird. Like, I sound so stupid. But truly, I had a really good thought, guys. And I was like so excited to share it for a moment there. I was like, oh, I'm cooking up a storm. And now I'm just sounding really like slow. But I am slow, so that's okay. But it's like, I totally forgot it. But I would never trust a twink, But yeah, I guess I had a really good thought there, guys, and I just completely like I just had the biggest freaking brain tutor ever. Whatever. Um I don't know, give yourself grace to grow so that instead of becoming a vile person instead of becoming a nasty person who joins in on the cycle of misogyny, and you know what? I am that one friend that's too woke, whatever. It sounds stupid as hell. But instead of joining in on the cycle of misogyny, right? Let's call it like it is, misogyny, giving yourself grace frees you from this barrier to be a certain way that society has conditioned you to be. Emotionally to tear down others, and also it will free you. That's where I was going. Okay, wait. I'm back. We're back. Okay, wait. Okay, so what I was talking about. It's so stupid. No, the confidence part. I need to be more confident. I need to be better. I need to blah, blah, blah. All this stuff is a wall that you are putting up, and it is a false wall that is not true. Like, it is a false wall. I know that there are moments where you need to be a baddie. I'm going to sound stupid here. There are moments where you need to be a baddie and you need to let go. But also, there's moments where you genuinely need to acknowledge that you care a lot about that. Like, naturally, it is fine that you care. Some people don't. That's fine. You need to figure out what you are and what your deal is. But for me, I deeply care about what others think. And for so long, I was like, Mama, I don't, like... I don't care what others think. Like, this is stupid. Like, Mama, I'm born different. Like, I'm super slay. Like, yes, and whatever. There's room for that, right? There's always room. There's room for that, right? It's not a one size fit all. Getting pissed off. There's room for that, right? But there's also room to be like, this affects me a lot. I care very deeply. I care very, very deeply about how others see and view me. I care very deeply when I disappoint people. And the thing is, acknowledging that lets go of the power that it holds over you. Oh my gosh. But truly, acknowledging that is so much more powerful than being like, I don't care what others think. That's a lie. You're feeding yourself a lie. Your body knows that you're lying. Your brain knows that you're lying. Your whole body, like physically and mentally, your heart, your soul understands that you are telling yourself a lie. And the more you feed this lie, the deeper and more unhappy you will be, right? And there is so much room. There's so much room to be a baddie, right? There's so much room to be a baddie. But also, there's room for when you need to acknowledge that it affects your heart deeply, right? That is the most deeply freeing thing that I gave myself, is that I care so deeply. I care extremely, right? But acknowledging that also helps me to see, like, how to actually care less. Isn't that crazy? Acknowledging that I care about what people think so deeply helps it to lose more power in my life. How did we go from twinks to this? This is low-key good tea. Anyways, but I wouldn't trust a twink, because a twink is a what? A man. And a man is what? Usually deeply rooted in a cycle of internal misogyny that he has been fed from day one. Because we are in a society that is conditioned to favor men in a lot of ways. And I'm a white man. Duh. But, like, come on. Oh my gosh, I am that one friend that's too woke, and I don't give a boot. I don't know. If what I'm saying might also just be hella stupid. I'm okay with that. I'm okay to be wrong. I'm okay to acknowledge where I need to grow. And again, I care very deeply. I care hella deeply. But I'm never going to let people take that away from me, because that's also where the source of my strength is. Anyways, this video is really long for talking about twinks, but whatever. My favorite pastime. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and that's just food for thought. Bye.